You're listening to Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of Truly Unruly with Marcus and Jessica Trufant. That's Marcus.
What up?
And that's Jessica.
Hello.
There's a clip that's gone viral with Ayesha and Steph Curry, and I guess it's some comments that Ayesha Curry made about
Ayesha.
her. What did I call her? Alicia?
You called her Alicia.
Alicia.
Ayesha.
Ayesha. Anyways, go ahead.
Ayesha Curry. My bad. I should know better. But anywho, that she made these comments saying that she puts her husband before their kids. I just wondering, as folks like yourselves that have a bunch of kids and you are who you are and you've been married for a pretty long time and yet you're still young, what are you guys' thoughts on comments like that?
I mean, I get it. I get the idea of putting your husband first, but again, what does that mean? And what does that look like? I mean, Ayesha Curry is married to somebody that is gone over half of the year. And so who is being catered to and, you know, having his needs met by all these other people. So what does that even, what does it mean to put your husband first? I think that maybe she's with the kids all of the time. So when Steph is around, he is first, but I don't think that is something realistic. I think it sounds really good. I put my husband first. Well, first of all, you should be putting yourself first. Second, you should, I don't know, I don't want to say there's an order, but yourself definitely is first. And then everybody else kind of falls in line. But I don't know. I don't like statements, like broad, like statements like that. I put my husband first. And it's like, fuck. Great.
Very interesting.
Great. I don't know how you do it when he's not there half the time, but great.
For one, you sound like a hater. For one.
No.
So what if he's getting his needs met, or allegedly getting his needs met by?
Well, that's what I'm saying. What does it look like putting him first? Are you like always thinking about him? What are you ironing his clothes? What are you fixing his food? What are you doing putting him first? You're putting your relationship first? So what is that? What does it mean?
I think it's a way of thinking. It's a mindset.
Okay,
right?
yes.
And if it's supposed to be kind of this back and forth thing, you put your husband first, you put your wife first before your children.
Who the fuck made this up anyway?
I don't know, but I think it's a way to do it. And like we talked about before, like the kids were young, the kids are going to demand a little bit more because they can't help themselves, right?
Right.
Especially with the mom. So she of course,
but she's like, Steph comes first.
Or you got to kind of plan and be in a situation to where, okay, yeah, my husband, I want to make sure my husband is good as well, right? And not really just lean totally into the kids, because I could imagine there is some situations that look like that, right? And you've talked about it before as far as moms being overwhelmed, being stressed out, and sometimes the husbands do get left out. Not in a...
So we're going to take on you too? We're already stressed out, but we got to make sure
You're married, so
we
you
got
better
to make
take
sure
on
we
something.
put you first.
You better take on something. If you're married, to exclude your husband is the wrong thing to do.
It's not excluding her husband. And to your point, if she's like, I can see putting your... I can't even see. It's a given that you're supposed to put your relationship in the forefront.
You'd be surprised.
I know, but I think
what
that
kids do to some relationships.
Right. But I think that it is, I don't know.
People don't even like each other as much, especially when the kids come, and then when they leave, then there's really not a relationship there because people have been so focused into the kids and the relationship gets.
I need more detail. That's not.
I need more detail too.
I need more details because it's a very general I put my husband first, and it's like, okay, what does that mean?
People get divorced behind that. That's funny. Like, I know someone specifically here in Vegas that got divorced behind that because he and his wife, their kids were athletes, and they put so much time into like focusing on their kids stuff and their kids being athletes, and their son ended up going to the league, and their daughter was a really good basketball player, all this stuff. And yeah, by the time like their kids, they became empty nesters, they just didn't really know each other anymore like that because it was always so focused on the kids. And then like they ended up like divorcing. And it's funny is because, go ahead, Jess.
No, I was just going to say, I get that situation, but this is a very unique situation. Her situation. It is.
Yeah.
You're right. You said they put too much effort in to the kids, and he's like the kid. He's the one who's doing the sports and busy and off and doing that. So, okay.
Well, that's why I said it does have to go both ways.
Okay. So yeah, obviously she has to pay him some fucking attention.
Or what, Jess? I don't know.
I'm just saying.
She doesn't have to, though, if she doesn't want to. And Nikhil's point, if you rather be wrapped up in the kids or you get used to being wrapped up in the kids.
I don't know if she has we don't know her situation. Yeah, we don't. All I know is that Steph Curry plays basketball and is gone all the time. So it's just her. I'm assuming a lot of the time wrapped. We don't know. I can't speak on it because I don't know. We don't know their situation. You don't know if she's super fucking stressed out over those kids. You have no idea what she's doing. So when she's saying she's putting her relationship first, what does that mean? What does it look like?
Well,
if you're not going to give details, I know, but if you're not going to give details, then it's kind of like
we're creating our own details.
Right. And I've created my full story.
You're hating and saying that chef is getting catered.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
Status.
I'm saying, well, putting your relationship first is one thing. And I was speaking in terms of, if you're saying I put my husband first, I'm like.
She did say that, right? Yeah, that's what she said.
Okay.
Her husband.
What does that mean?
But I will tell you, because this is a very, I've looked it up, and this is a debated
You go
thing.
To his games? Over your kid stuff? Is that what it is? That's what I'm saying. What does it look like?
Listen, should you prioritize your partner over your kids? Prioritizing your marriage certainly does not mean neglecting your children. Rather, prioritizing the marriage reflects the right ordering of relationships within a family unit.
Right.
A strong marriage directly benefits the children, both in the short term and for the long haul, right? And then there's this thing this is from parents.com. Will my children always come second in my marriage? Putting your children second might seem counterintuitive, but science says your marriage should come first, and here's why. There's a whole fucking article on this shit. And so, like, I get it. Like, you're both as parents so focused on the kids, and you both have to raise these kids. You still have to, like, the reason why we're even here in the first place is because we have a relationship. Is because I'm with you, you're with me, and I love you, and you love me, right? So we have to make sure we were. That is the reminder of why we are here in the first fucking place. So if you get so just caught up and wrapped up in the kids, you can that can burn out. You can forget about that,
right?
Lose that,
right? I don't. Maybe I don't subscribe to the order. I'm not a person who goes by, I don't like fucking order and shit. It has to go the this. It's like, why can't it just naturally happen that way? Why does it have to be scientifically fucking proven? First of all, I think that's fucking weird. What scientific study? It's like, if anything, science shows that you need to take care of your fucking self first. You put yourself first. That creates happiness. Fuck everything else. So again, I'm not here for all of the orders. So that's why I'm like, I think it's just, I put my husband first. It's like, okay.
Well, if you take the
Congratulations.
if you take the order away from it, and you just don't like rules and shit anyway, but if you look at the whole thing, right, and you said it should naturally happen.
It naturally orders itself.
It naturally orders itself. But if somebody's looking from the outside in, oh, they're a great couple. Yes, they got a bunch of kids, but they are still in love. They still do things together. They have a locker in their door to keep the kids out. They still go on dates and do stuff like that to keep the relationship exactly what it's supposed to be. So it's not like a thing, okay, and you know your dad is here, so everybody stop and nobody move until your dad takes off his shoes and all this little stuff. It doesn't have to be robotic and stuff like that, but there's energy there, right?
Right. I think with any, I don't know, I just don't get why it needs to be explained that somebody has to be in an order and somebody has to go first. I think it is what I think it is what it is.
People don't do it.
And if you choose to put your kids first, that is what happens. It is what it is. And people's relationships survive all the time based off of that. So it's kind of like everybody doesn't get divorced when they invest all of their time in their kids. And if so, your relationship wasn't shit to begin with. So I know you have to water it and nurture it and all those kinds of things, but I think it can all be done without having to put all this weird emphasis on putting somebody first.
If it was the woman first, would you like that or what? Because again, it still is like,
I don't believe in putting anybody first except for yourself.
Well, in a relationship, sometimes you put your person in high regard, and then that person puts you in high regard, right? And then you guys kind of come together in that way.
Right. And when you put yourself in high regard, you have high regards for everybody and everything and all of that.
Right.
And so I don't know. Marriage is work. Marriage is work. Kids are work. Everything is work. I think it's all about your perspective. I think I have put the kids first to my personal detriment, and that in turn affects our dynamic. And so I don't know. You just gotta figure it out. You gotta figure it out. I still work with you. There's a way you can do it. You can do both.
You can do both.
You can juggle both. Your kids and your husband.
Right.
And be successful.
It's seasons for it, right? There's seasons. Like I said, when the kids are young, it's a different dynamic. But again, as they get older, that's a different dynamic with the kids kind of moving around and doing stuff. There's a little bit more activities if they play sports and stuff. Just like Kale said, his folks, they are on these travel teams and stuff like that. There is a lot of divide, right? You got to drive this kid here, do that. But when it comes down to it, there's still foundation of where this started, and that is the marriage, right? And if the marriage fails,
I know. Well, I'm sitting here, I'm already thinking, I'm like, oh God, you're right. I am a hater for saying that. But you know what? That's just how I feel.
I know.
It just is what it is. For some people, there's an order. You must put your husband first.
Hey, you know what it is?
And I just don't. Oh my God.
You know what it is? You know what it is? Because when Jess hears that, she translates that as someone has to be submissive.
Yep, exactly. And that's why I asked if it was like, you put your wife first. Oh, okay, yeah, that'd be great.
Listen, you want to talk about submissive?
That's her trigger. That's
Jess's trigger. You're exactly right. And it's a trigger because it is like woven into the fabric of everything. Is women being a submissive, and it's like you gotta put your husband first, you gotta put your man first. It's like, bitch, I'm gonna put myself first. First of all, second of all,
don't look at it as being submissive or someone having to submit. If you don't think about it that way, because it doesn't necessarily have to be that way, then like you're good.
I ain't no submissive.
It's the rules and regulation piece too. It's all of it together, right?
It's the rules, it's the titles, it's the expectations from everybody else. That's why I'm saying it's fucking weird. Shut up.
But you're saying the same thing, though.
But there's a way,
and you're just saying it differently,
I'm
more
just
in
saying
a
it
natural,
differently. It's more
organic.
Right. It's without
way.
putting that, and it's in your head. You're like, oh no, I don't put my husband first. I'm putting my kid. God damn, how do I do it? Oh God, I'm sitting, and it's like, it can be done.
Right. If you still like your spouse, right? And I think that's really what it comes down to.
That's what I'm saying.
If you don't like your spouse, you just throw yourself into your kids, right? If you don't enjoy the time anymore, things change, and that happens to a lot of couples as well, right? And some of them don't even realize it.
I didn't know that. You don't like your spouse? Well, I guess so. You throw your time into your kids?
Or you'd rather not.
I throw my time into my kids, but I still like you.
Because we make time, to still date and to talk and to communicate.
That's what it is. We make time.
Mm-hmm.
But like Marcus just said, it's not about putting our relationship first. It's about carving out time for us. And that is like a better way to say it than putting one over the other, making a rank, making something more important than another, right? I don't know. And we've been conditioned and groomed to think that this is the most important thing. And there can be many important things. Your kids, your husband, they can be on the same fucking level as far as I'm concerned. Right?
I'm not sitting up here saying that the kids are not important, right?
Yes, you are.
No, I wish I was, but I'm not. Some days I do feel like that.
I know.
I don't want to deal with the kids. But and not that it has to be a hierarchy, but what is wrong with that, right? To say, okay, and I know
I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
There's like the weird questions online that I've seen. Okay, you got your wife over here and she's hanging off a cliff. You got your kids over here, they're hanging off a cliff. Who are you going to save? Now, that's silly stuff and that's weird, right?
Why would you even say that? That's terrible.
You haven't seen those on social? I know you're not on social no more. I'm not on social media,
so I don't know.
I've seen that type of stuff, but it doesn't really matter how you say it, but the relationship is the foundation of the family, or at least that's what I believe, right? So big shout out to Ayesha for coming out and saying that to the public. I know people are probably going to hate and find a way to hate and talk about
It's not a hate. It's an opinion. It's there can be several things that can be true at one time. She can put her husband first and I can say you can do them both. And you don't have to speak in order and it'd be just fine.
But you're doing an order, right? Those are what your actions are showing. You said that we spend time, so we make it a priority.
We don't have an order.
I know, but we have an order because we shut the kids down and we make sure we get our time, is what I'm saying.
Right, but it's not putting our relationship first. It is carving out time for our relationship.
Because it's most important. Or it is important.
Because it's important.
Okay. Important-er.
It is important, but I think it is as important. I think it's important to pour into your kids too.
That's true too.
I think it's important to lay the foundation for them too. And if you're busy chasing your relationship, you can neglect your kids as well. So consider that as well. All this, I put him first. What about your children? So let's not get those lines. That's why I'm saying I don't like the whole, there's an order to this. And it's like,
that should happen naturally. That you're going to deal with your kids. That should be naturally, because that's what you're saying about the order.
I think it cannot be natural. I think you can be married and be chasing your dude or your girl and neglect your kids. I think that can still be a thing even in marriage. So
that can be a thing too.
I don't think it's the norm. I think it's like I said, we are all conditioned to believe that there is an order there is a natural order in general, but that there has to be this order. And it just, I don't know.
Right.
You can think that way, and I think that's fine. And if you don't think that way, that's fine too. I hope it works out.
It goes both ways though, because we would be crucifying the male in any one of these situations if he was like, okay, I'm just gonna go
Put the woman first?
No, if I'm gonna just go do my job, then I'm gonna hang out with the kids for a little bit. I know the wife is really stressed. I know she been dealing with the kids all day. And
What does that have to do with putting your relationship
I'm just saying
first?
because you are having a problem with saying, okay, I put my husband first. And if the husband was
I don't have
in a position,
I just have a problem with the
the
order of it. And I do. I have a problem with that. There's something about
That's
first,
so funny to me.
second, third.
It is funny.
What
It's like I feel you though at the same time because it's putting people in a box and everybody's different. So I understand what you're saying, but we're kind of doing that. We just don't have the label on it, right?
And it's and husband relationship. So putting your relationship first means putting your husband first?
No, that was just a comment that she made.
No, that was a genuine question.
For sake of conversation, let's just say yeah.
That's wrong.
And then the husband's supposed to put his wife first. So that's how that dynamic is supposed to. It's like a dance, right? You're supposed to work together.
Yeah.
I go this way, I'm saying you go the other way. It's like
I don't know. I'm just
you're what?
I don't know. I'm just like fuck. We work and nobody is putting, I don't know. It's not like we're just carving out time. And that's why it works.
You said on this show too that the man has to love the woman more in order for things to work.
What does that have to do with anything?
I don't know.
Scientifically, psych.
Kale, go ahead and ask your question. My bad.
No, you're good. I got a question. So, Jess, would you consider Marcus the man of the house?
Why are you asking me this?
Just it's a question. Would you consider Marcus the man of the house? Right?
He is. He is a man in the house. Yeah.
I'll take that.
See, she can't do it.
Yeah,
she can't even say it. Marcus can't even say it. It's so funny.
Well, scientifically,
I guess you could say he was the man.
He's a
in
man,
the house.
and he is in the house. So I guess that's funny.
Jessica.
I mean,
is Marcus the man of the house?
That's
is he
funny.
the man of the house?
He is the man of the house. But what is that? And who came up with that?
Wait.
Right.
Who came up with the man of the house?
And that's the defiance of.
It's because it is
of the rules and regulations
paternal,
of the societal.
That's exactly why we're saying. That's exactly why we're having these conversations. It's exactly why. It's just because of the history of men and women and how it's been.
You have an issue with the wording of that.
With the order of it, yes.
The wording. Or the order, or
the order, the wording, you know what? Okay.
You would
There is nothing wrong with saying that, but I just feel like but it's not the rule. You don't have to live and think that way in order for you to have success in your relationship. You don't have to think I got to put my husband first in order for your marriage to be successful. Now you need to carve out time for your husband, and you have to continue to learn your husband and grow with your husband. But that doesn't necessarily mean there is an order to which you need to put him.
Okay.
But I guess there is an order because everybody says there's an order. So I guess let me follow the rules. Yes, Marcus must be put first.
That sounds so ungenuine to the truly unruly faithful out there.
I don't know if ungenuine is a word.
Disingenuine. I got you, True. Look,
Ungenuine.
Jessica thinks it has to do with submission, but it doesn't have to be. It's just the wording.
You can still be free.
No, it's a personal thing. That's how she feels.
Yeah.
But she said it on a national platform, and I have an opinion, just like everybody's going to have an opinion about what I'm saying.
Right. It's a personal thing for her, but she's just trying to do her best, and I get it. And she said a couple things in the public that has caused up a little ruckus in the social media.
Like what?
Realms. I forgot what she said before about something she didn't
because
feel.
that even further solidifies.
No, she didn't feel a certain way, like she wanted more attention. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah. She said that she pretty much would like it if dudes hit on her because she don't get no attention. Or she missed that,
or she doesn't get the attention. It's all going to Steph. Yeah, and he's being catered to and all this stuff. Exactly like
all the very things I said. You know what? I see Ayesha without even knowing her. So you guys carry on with your conversation.
And you said the same thing she said. And you hated on Steph and said because Steph is a baller and doing all this stuff and getting all the attention,
I would never,
it's a bad look.
Ever be like, I want to get hit on. If the fact that you're even putting your value in getting hit on is fucking weird to me.
It was similar to that. I don't know exactly what she said.
And number two, hell yeah, you got to put your husband first. Like I said the first time.
Yeah, she was like she didn't get enough attention or whatever, and whatever. Pretty much wouldn't mind if she got hit on, whatever. And it's like, oh, so you want motherfuckers to not value your union?
To be honest, though,
I put my husband first. I always put my husband first, but I wouldn't mind getting hit on.
I think it was. I could understand.
That's what I'm saying.
Where she's coming from. Maybe, and that's when the kids were younger. Maybe she felt like she was losing her identity or losing herself because she was so involved.
Now kids will strip your full kids, fucking identity.
Right? So, at the time it was probably a cry for help, and she said it on social media, and it went crazy. But it's women all over the planet that are going through the same thing, right? But she is in a position, and she got a husband that cares. I believe he supported her through all of that, and they made it work. So, hey.
Yeah. Through all of what?
Through all of the social media backlash and stuff.
Well, that's her husband, and she puts him first, so he should put her first.
She tried to tweet something like the league was rigged or something like that, and it was
why?
In the finals or something like that, because fucking Golden State lost, and Steph had to go on the press conference. He made a light joke about it. He's like, "Yeah, man, we're gonna have to turn the internet off at my house." Jokey. But anyway, good episode, Ayesha Curry, man. I'm telling you, man, them black light skinned girls from Canada, man, they're different, man.
I didn't know she was from Canada.
She's from Toronto. She's from the T-Dot. But hey, they do things different up there, man. So it's all good.
I guess so. Make sure you put your husband first. Or else
put him first.
Fail. Just kidding.
Yeah, it helps. Yeah.
Me too.
You can follow us on social media, trulyunruly_podcast, and listen to us on your favorite podcasting platform. Like, subscribe. Of course, follow us on YouTube also if you want to catch the visual. Catch us every Sunday on Converge, and I think that's it. Peace and much love.